Do you find yourself stuck at your 9-to-5 job, daydreaming about starting a business of your own? If you are ready to learn how to pivot from employee to entrepreneur, you are in the right place, my friend. Welcome to How to Quit Your Job and Start a Business, a limited edition podcast series designed just for you. I'm your host, Shannon Russell, career transition coach, entrepreneur, and your business bestie, guiding you on your journey from the corporate world to being the CEO of your own life. Each episode in this series will walk you through how to make this career transition in a way that doesn't disrupt your life and cause chaos at home. I'll walk you through the tested strategies I use with my clients so that you can move from where you are to where you want to be. Head over to secondactsuccess.co/listen to grab my Starting a Successful Business workbook. It's a perfect tool to guide you through this limited series podcast. Hit subscribe, pop in your earbuds, and let's hang out. Ready? Let's get to it. Hey there, welcome back to How to Quit Your Job and Start a Business. I'm your host and career transition coach, Shannon Russell. I am so glad you are listening along to this podcast series because in this limited series, we are helping women take the leap from their corporate jobs into the world of entrepreneurship. Today's episode is special because we are exploring different types of businesses that you can start. Whether you are thinking about diving into a franchise, launching an online business, opening a brick-and-mortar store, or offering a service, we are going to break down each option so that you can decide which one might be the best fit for you. When it comes to starting a business, one of the first decisions you will need to make is what type of business you want to run. So you might be listening and you might already have a business idea. You might know exactly what you're leaping into. If you don't, then this episode is going to be crucial for you because you will be able to really think about the different options and the different types of businesses that are out there to really be able to find one to focus on. As you decide what type of business you would like to build, think about everything from the day-to-day operations to your long-term goals. And we're going to talk about the different types of businesses so you can get a clearer idea on those as well. First up, let's talk about franchises. A franchise is the type of business that I launched when I left my corporate career in television. I did not know anything about business. I was trying to figure out how I could transfer my skills in the entertainment industry into just about anything else for a career. I was really fumbling, trying to figure it all out. And as I started thinking about going into entrepreneurship and thinking about this business idea I had in my head, I really started researching. I came up with an idea. I was making an outline of exactly what I wanted this business to look like. And as I was doing my research, I stumbled upon a franchise. I really didn't know what a franchise was. All I was thinking is that it was like McDonald's, right? Like a fast food chain. So I really didn't know, but here I was on a website looking at a franchise style business that was so similar to the idea that I had in my head. Because of this, I dove in to really learning about what this franchise was and how this business structure works. Let me explain a little bit about it to you right now. A franchise is a business model where you purchase the rights to open and operate a branch of this established company. So really anyone who has a successful company can decide to franchise it. They can decide to sell the idea, the main operations of the business to other people so that they can replicate it in different areas. So when I purchased my Snapology STEM education franchise, I purchased mine in my community. There are Snapology franchises all over the country, all over the world internationally, and everyone operates theirs differently. But you pay a royalty fee to the founders of the company. Let me explain a little further. Think about the popular brands that you know and go to. Maybe it's McDonald's or Subway or service-based businesses like cleaning services. Molly Maids is a really popular one, or certain waste management companies or home healthcare companies are franchises. And these franchises you can benefit from by purchasing into it because that business, that brand recognition is already there. The person who originally started that very, very first business, that first McDonald's, that person created the brand, the services, the products, and created a proven business model. And therefore, when you buy into it, you get access to all of that. You get basically a playbook on how the business can be successful so that from day one, you can grow that business under the franchisor. And you have that ongoing support, most likely in most circumstances, from that franchisor and from the headquarters team. Now, let's talk about the pros of why you would consider buying into a franchise. It's that brand recognition, like we just mentioned. So you're starting with a business that already has a loyal customer base, and it's a recognizable brand in most cases. Training and support. You will have official training so that you know exactly how to run that business from the franchisor, the corporate team, and you'll have and you most likely will have ongoing support. And anytime they update something in the business, you will get that information. You will get those marketing materials, and you will be able to implement those in your business. And you get a proven business model. So you don't have to start from scratch. The business model has already been tested and refined. Those are the reasons why I chose, as a person who was a television producer for 16 years, I did not know all the ins and outs about running a business. I was happy to learn. I was eager, but I felt that by buying into a franchise would be the best way for me to learn about business without starting completely from scratch, especially if this business was already proven to be successful. Now, let's talk about the cons. There is an initial investment when you purchase a franchise. You're buying into it, so it can be expensive on the forefront. These are upfront costs that you have to pay to get the business. And then you also have to pay franchise fees, royalty fees each month, along with whatever equipment and inventory you need to run the business. Another con of franchising is that you have to follow the franchisor's rules and guidelines. You have a lot less control in running your business. Of course, different franchises operate differently, but overall, I think, you have less control. You can't go out and sell pizza at McDonald's. You have to stick with the rules and the guidelines of that brand and that business. And of course, there are ongoing fees. Many franchises will require royalty payments, like we mentioned, and some will require a percentage of your profits to go towards a marketing brand fund. There might be other fees of, oh, we're offering this new product or service, and you have to purchase the equipment or inventory to offer that product or service. So there will be ongoing fees as well. Now, is a franchise right for you? Here are a few questions you can ask yourself. If you prefer a business with a clear blueprint, especially as a first-time entrepreneur, and you're willing to follow the established guidelines, a franchise might be really a great fit. However, if you want that creativity and that autonomy, then you might think it's too restrictive. So that's where you have to really decide what's best for you. I am a proponent of franchises. I really, truly do believe as long as you do your research and you know what you're buying into, it can be a really great way to get started. I also know a lot of the cons and have dealt with some cons in the franchising world as well. And if anyone is interested, feel free to message me. I would absolutely love to chat a little bit more about the pros and cons of franchising with you. Next, let's discuss online businesses. Online businesses are all the rage because they are easy and online. I think the pandemic really started getting people's heads into thinking about what an online business can do for them and their work-life balance. So think about it. An online business operates primarily on the internet. This can mean you have an e-commerce store online, you can sell digital products and courses, you can create content, you can do online coaching like I do, you can have consulting services, maybe you do accounting for people and you can easily do that online. Maybe you're a website developer and you can make someone's website online. There are even doctors and therapists that operate with their patients and clients online. Online businesses have really become popular, I think, because of the low overhead costs and the ability to reach a global audience. You're not just working within your town or your community. You can serve people all over. Now, my second business I started, Second Act Success Career Coaching, I do coaching online. Yes, I can coach with local clients in person, but I mainly work with my clients online. Therefore, I have clients in Canada, clients all over the United States, and I even have clients over in England. So I can have these clients anywhere and I can meet them where is best for them, which is in their living room, in their office, on their computer. And it gives me, as a mom of two boys, a chance to really be a present mom while doing what I love and working and earning an income for my family. An online business is something that I also have experience in and I am a proponent of. Let's talk about the pros of an online business for you. Number one, again, is low overhead costs. Without the need for a physical space, you save on rent, utilities, and all those other expenses. You also have flexibility because you can literally work from anywhere. As long as you have an internet connection or a phone, even, you can have that freedom to set your own schedule. There is also scalability with an online business because if you really strategize, you can grow your online business as slowly or quickly as you want, and you can reach those customers all over the world. There is really so much potential with an online business. What are the cons? Cons in the online space is competition, for one. It's very crowded and it can be challenging to stand out. There's always that fight when it comes to marketing and on social media, especially trying to get your brand to the right audience. Technical skills are required for an online business to a degree. So you have to make sure that you are willing and able to learn about how to market online, how to get your website up and running, and any other technical skills like using Zoom or online platforms. There just might be a learning curve when it comes to starting an online business if you are not familiar with the online space. One other con of an online business is really that lack of face to face interaction. If you thrive being one on one, face to face with someone, then that virtual space of being behind a computer screen might not feel the best for you. That being said, there is something comforting with us all knowing how to Zoom or StreamYard. Being online with people now feels almost like you are in the same room, but it really depends on how you like to interact and how you feel like you would be best to run a business. Okay, let's go to the next one, which is running a storefront brick and mortar business. That means a traditional business with a physical location where customers can visit you, such as retail stores, cafes, restaurants. And the brick and mortar business often requires a big investment upfront. I'm talking rental fees, mortgages if you buy the property outright, outside signage, the renovations for the inside of the building to get it exactly how you want it. There's just a lot more that you need to work on to really build up that business. So there really is that upfront investment. Now let's talk more about the pros of a brick and mortar storefront business. Obviously, it's that physical presence. A storefront allows you to engage directly with your customers and build those relationships. It also gives a little bit more credibility, or sometimes a lot more credibility, if you're in the middle of a shopping center or you're somewhere next to a really popular store. You will be getting that foot traffic, and that will help you really get the word out. And you get that local customer base. You can establish yourself as a local business and attract the customers from your community. Also, just because you have this local community-based business doesn't mean you can't offer products or services online as well. Just think of the big department stores like Dick's Sporting Goods or Target. Those are brick and mortar businesses on a larger scale, but you don't have to necessarily walk in the doors to purchase and be a customer. You can purchase online. If you want to build a local clothing boutique, you can open that, but you can also build an online presence and sell your products online as well, so you can reach outside of your community. Another pro is the experience-based selling. The in-person experience might be key, such as trying on clothes, tasting food, testing out exercise equipment, or riding a bike, for example. Those are things that you want to do in person, most likely. Otherwise, you're buying online and then you're returning if it doesn't fit or you don't like it. So those are some pros of actually having that brick and mortar business. And here are some cons. The cons are the high overhead. High overhead costs, rent, utilities, maintenance fees, insurance for the building. It can really make it very expensive to operate a physical location. Think about your staffing. If you're not going to be there 24/7 or when your location is open, you must have that staff to be there, and you're paying your staff to be there because there's going to be customers or clients coming in and out of your doors. So that is another expense. There's also a limited reach. Your customer base, if you have a physical location, is going to be limited to who lives nearby, and that can restrict your growth unless you have an online presence as well. Is a brick and mortar business right for you? I will chime in again because I have run a brick and mortar business. I took my franchise, which was a mobile service-based business at first, and then I opened a brick and mortar. It was extremely expensive for all those reasons I mentioned in the cons. I had a very high overhead. And then when I decided to really step back from the business, I had to staff up, and my staff and my payroll cost me a lot. And you're dealing more face-to-face, one-on-one with customers. So if they have issues, they're telling you to your face in not always the best way. Whereas if you get a customer complaint online, that might come via a website form or your email, and you don't have to sit here with an angry, frustrated customer face to face. If you are renting that location, which most people I would say would rent their physical location, you are kind of at the mercy to your landlord. Here's a story for you. I was about to renew my lease after 5 years at my physical location, and the landlord said, "Nope, we're not going to renew your lease. We have someone else who can come in and spend a lot more money." That was quote unquote what this landlord said to me. And I had a small family owned community business. That was very upsetting and changed everything for my business. I recovered, everything was fine, but it's just showing you that you really are truly leasing that space. It is not yours outright. So you can pour your blood, sweat, and tears into that building, but someone can take it away at any moment. My advice to you is if you have passion for face-to-face customer service and you want to offer your products and services in a more physical way with people and have that interaction, then a storefront might be ideal for you. But if the cost and the location risks feel a little scary, then consider the other models and kind of do a pros con list to figure out what truly would work best for you. All right, the last kind of business I want to go over is a service-based business. Service-based businesses can provide those products such as consulting, coaching, freelancing, home maintenance. These kind of services can be offered without you having a brick and mortar. You can work out of your home, you can work out of a designated office and bring your services to your customers. Service-based businesses often require lower startup costs than product-based businesses because you're selling skills and expertise rather than those physical goods. So let's talk about the pros. Again, low startup costs. You don't have to worry about inventory or physical space. Flexibility. You have the freedom to set up your own hours and choose your clients. It can offer a lot of control over your business and your business growth. That leads me to scalability. You can often scale a service-based business by hiring additional staff. So you can grow it as fast as you would like by just training staff to do exactly what it is you do. And you can really expand your service offerings as well if you would like. So there's lots of room for scalability. Now it's the cons of service-based businesses. Your income is tied to the number of hours you work, which makes it challenging when it comes to scaling at first without really increasing your workload. You can only work so many hours in a week before you have to hire additional staff to help you out. Then there's the client management side. Success really depends on building and maintaining those relationships with your clients because a lot of times you'll get more business from word of mouth. So you have to make sure that you're constantly managing those clients, you're making sure that they are happy and they're not as stressed, and that can be time consuming. Lastly, it's competition. So depending on your industry, you might face some competition in your area from other people offering similar services. So it's just how to walk through that and really make your business stand out. Okay, there you have it. It's a breakdown of 4 common types of businesses. Each has its own set of advantages and challenges, as we discussed. And it really is up to you to think about which type of business you want to go into. So if you have an idea for a kind of business and you haven't really thought about the actual type that you want to establish, I hope this episode has cleared some things up for you and given you some things to think about. Remember, there's no one size fits all answer when it comes to starting a business. So you want to reflect on what aligns with your goals and your lifestyle and do what you feel like will give you that work-life balance that you're looking for. Thank you, my friend, for tuning in to this episode of How to Quit Your Job and Start a Business. If you found today's discussion helpful, as always, I ask you to share it with another woman who might be considering starting a business. Until next time, I am Shannon Russell, your career coach, encouraging you to keep dreaming, keep planning, and keep taking action. I'll talk to you soon. Do you ever feel like you need a little support as you plan your next career move? Then I invite you to join the Career Clarity Collective. It's a monthly membership, and inside you will receive access to a community of like-minded women. You will also take part in group coaching calls, plus you'll get access to masterclasses and resources with new ones added every month. Join us for the tools you need, the guidance you deserve, and accountability to take action so that you can make your second act a success. Head over to secondactsuccess.co/membership to enroll. I can't wait to see you inside the Career Clarity Collective.